Buongiorno Juventini. Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel El DIBU Giuseppe. Attenzione, we are back for a live 1 hour and a bit more, maybe. Let's see, we have a lot of transfer market talk, a lot of mercato is crazy talk to speak about. Of course, we go back a bit to the last victory because it's an important one. It was the victory that I predicted. It was the score that I predicted. We will go to the sheet later of our game with Kevin, with Frederic, and with Zach. We will make new predictions. We will speak, of course, a bit about Udinese, Juve, but in that core video, it's Mercato with Marcus Thuram. That is the latest name that just is there in that list of Spalletti that on the 12th of March is already full of names. I believe we already have like 25 names in the list of Luciano Spalletti. And on top of that, we are renewing everyone. So I don't know where we will put the players next season. Buongiorno and welcome back. Bentornato, Kevin Turin Giants that was there in Torino for Juventus Pisa.
Buonasera, Frederic and Beppe. Great to be here, and to everybody who is joining here live and those who are listening on the Turin Giants audio recording later. Yes, it's great to be back. I missed a couple weeks. I had a vacation in there. I had some work travel and obligations. But last weekend, I was able to squeeze in a trip to Turin during my work travels in Europe to witness at least one good half of football. I was very excited for the 3-0 because that's what I had predicted. And of course, there at the end with a wonderful play from Locatelli to Boga and a great finish. And we'll always take a poker, right? I can't complain about that. But I hope to discuss a little bit about that game this evening.
Ciao, Frederic.
Ciao a tutti in chat. Ciao Beppe. Ciao Kev. Kev, very, very happy for you. Yeah, very happy. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm jealous, but I enjoy the fact that Kevin went, and I'm excited.
You were there with Kevin and Zach to watch.
I know, but now I want to be there. I want to be there like every time, and we still need to figure out for next season, Beppe, that we can go again, but with you this time, because that was the original plan, and we need to fulfill destiny. Need to make it happen.
I hope to be able to go for the last home game, Juve Fiorentina. I hope so. Hopefully not too much stress.
We'll see about that, but happy to be here.
My son said, that the live that I prefer on your channel is when you do the live with Turin Giants. So probably is what he said. I watch all of them. I love them. So that's good. That's a really good
that's
thing.
Nice. Shout out to little Beppe.
Felice. So let's say hello to all the people in the chat because these are the most important ones. The first one to write today was Bogdan with hype and like. Buongiorno Bianconeri team. Ciao Nino Sport. Ciao Beppe and Turin Giants. Lionel Creative 8956. We reborn with Kefren and Thuram. Of course, Kefren and Marcus will speak about them. Walhalla. Openda. I have absolutely no idea what you're writing, Lionel. Buongiorno Alex. Ciao 404 JJ Roy. And the big lips that is there every Thursday. Buongiorno Davide Galeano, Maestro Takishi from Morocco, Dottore 1S 17, Thomas Macluf, Seraz, Niz 5565, mamma mia, Sashin, JFC, Nermin, Juve Ball, Ivan Todorov, I saw Seraz as well, Pecci with G just late. We are here, and if you can't follow us for the entirety of the live, don't forget that from the live is ending a few hours later, you can listen to it podcast version Turin Giants. Go on Spotify, go on Apple Podcast. You were able to find it and to listen to it. And if you want, of course, you can continue to consume Juve also on the YouTube official channel of Turin Giants. Super easy. In the title, you have the tag. You click on it, and you will be redirected to follow them. Allora, let me first say thank you to Assam, member for 30 months. Let's give Inter money for Thuram so they buy EM. Who is EM? Emiliano Martinez.
Martinez.
I didn't want to go immediately on that, but you know what we will do? Because I know that Assam will watch the entirety of the live, so he will not be pissed off if we don't answer immediately. Without explanation, a word only. Thuram, Marcus, you want him? Yes or no? Kev.
No, because he's soft.
But you couldn't spoil. You couldn't spoil. You already spoiled it.
Kevin.
Spoiled it.
Man,
Spoiled it.
man. For me, it's a big no. 2 words, big no.
I see some yes in the chat. Jamia, Oscar, yes, yes, kinda no. We'll speak about that later. But first of all, let's go back on the game, on the 4-0, especially because Kevin was there. So, Kevin, can you guide us through how was the atmosphere before? To me, it's really important also the pre-game, because if you see the 45 first minutes, were you feeling a kind of atmosphere where really we could have gone with a difficult game? And then how did you see how we approached that second half? Because then we changed not only Jonathan David, but the entirety of the second half.
To answer the first part of that, no, it wasn't a good atmosphere at the beginning. I mean, it's always a joy and a pleasure to be back in the stadium. And I was really fortunate for about 2 years there to have season tickets. And I went living in Turin, going each and every week. And now that I'm going back like less frequently, still getting to see a handful of games per year, they're that much more special. Like it feels like a real special occasion as opposed to routine. So I was obviously thrilled to go, just knowing how critical it is, this stretch of 3 to 4 games where we need minimally something, either like we need to have 14 or 16 points from these next four games. And to kick it off against Pisa, there's an opportunity to make a statement and just put that terrible month of February behind us. And can we just bunker down, grind out a great result, and have some momentum coming off of the Gatti goal, which I know you've talked about, just how critical that goal was, and just setting a statement for how we move forward. And would we actually rise to the occasion and deliver against a poor team? So I thought the atmosphere would be one to back that up and to match the moment. Unfortunately, Curva Sud, which admittedly, as I think people who have been there, it sets the tone, it sets the energy for the atmosphere in the stadium. And there was a bit of a strike or a reaction or a non-reaction through the first, I think it was 15 minutes of the first half. And I heard 2 core reasons for it. I heard a number of people from the ultras saying things around it's the typical line around like, we are Juventus, meaning Curva Sud and those factions of fans, that they are the club, and the rest of everything going on right now is not worthy of like their fandom, of their lifestyle in embracing Juve, and they wanted that to be recognized. And the second part to it, I think, was in reaction to Udinese raising the prices of the away tickets for this upcoming match up to 65 euros, which is very expensive for the away section for Serie A. And in reaction to Juve or Lega Calcio not doing anything about it, and Udinese taking advantage of the traveling Juve fans, and that was not well received. So the start of the game was flat, and there was nothing. The flags were down. There was no chanting. I think I'm seeing the comments here that people recognize that on TV, and the performance in that half followed. It was flat. And I remember messaging Frederic and my other Turin Giants buddies that it felt like we were playing a man down with David on the pitch. And my reaction from the first half is everybody was subpar. It was slow. It lacked conviction. The only player I thought who had a half decent average performance was actually Chico. He looked like the only one like out there running and trying to create. Everybody seemed just a half a step behind. We never looked like we were going to concede, but we didn't look like we were ever going to create anything of value. Thankfully, as the first half wrapped up, I thought there was going to be an opportunity for a lot of jeering and for the stadium to turn on the team. And we know that with our team that lacks a bit of mental fortitude, that sometimes I get concerned that can they overcome that? Do they use that as motivation, or does it kind of knock them down and make things worse? But the stadium, to the fans' credit, did not turn on the team. The singing continued, and Spalletti made his changes, and we know in the second half the rest is history. And they came out, thankfully got the early goal, and it was just a lot of fun, and the energy returned and the singing was there, and I had a blast.
What was the most beautiful goal?
Oh, that's a good question.
So there was Cambiaso with the header, then the tap in-ish from Kefren Thuram, Kenan Yildiz canceling his defender and then going on the far post, and then
so I think it's a tie for two. The first and the fourth goal for different reasons. I thought on the first goal there was some beautiful interplay there. The cross from the Yildiz was great. Cambiaso needed something of positivity in his play, and I think this is the first game in a long time where he didn't have his, what we call like his blackout moments, where he forgets how to play football and makes a mistake that ends up penalizing the team. I thought that goal was really nice, but the fourth one just shows, I think, like the spirit that we see in the Spalletti side that we haven't seen in Juve's within the last couple years, that even though we're ahead, we keep going for it. And being 3-0 up, there was going for the fourth isn't something we'd be used to seeing from past Juve sides. And to go for it, that pass from Locatelli was something of beauty, and to see Boga cap off a wonderful performance. And I know there's many people who claimed he was player of the match, and that certainly rubber stamped his impact on the second half.
Can I quickly say something about Kuvasut, because I usually tend to disagree with them and I tend not to defend them. But with this matter, I feel a bit obliged to do so, because they have a fair point. Udinese, for the away games for the Juventus fans, have been raising prices for 4 years now. And I know the first 2 years they just asked Juventus to file a complaint, because any club can do so, in which then Serie A or Lega Serie A will investigate the matter to see if it's disproportionate and make eventually Udinese raise prices. But Juventus won't even do that. And the reason, therefore, is a bit unknown. And I think that the Curva takes it personal and takes it or sees it as Juventus not defending their closest supporters. And I can kind of relate to that, because it doesn't take that much amount of time to draft up a note or upload a document stating that you feel that your team is suffering from outrageous ticketing prices, and see what happens. And Juventus just won't do it. So I think it's a bit of a double-edged sword in that respect. And I have to agree that I see the logic in it somewhere. I don't agree necessarily with the striking or the way that they do it, but I see the logic and the as to why that they do it. So just want to point that out real quickly.
Yeah, I think it's. I have.
Pepe's not happy.
Well, I have like mixed emotions.
I understand, it's years and years and years that are breaking my balls. With one time we sing yes because we are until the end. The day after we don't sing because it's the one time of the month where the red color is visiting below. Then we are not singing because we don't have the tamburini, and then one day because we don't have the flags, and one day because this, and then we don't have the shirts, and one day because we don't like the player. Mamma mia, it's every time. This team is, like Kevin said earlier, extremely weak. They need all the support. We are in a difficult situation. support, and if you are not happy, go outside of the stadium and you make clear that you're not happy about some things, but don't
Yeah.
affect the team in the 90 minutes. What you do before, what you do after. If you want to protest against the management, do it after the game with a big banner where you're writing something. It's difficult, you cannot enter, banners, whatever. You can do if you want. You can do. There are some people, they brought motorcycles in a curva. You can do whatever you want. So I really believe that if you want to attack the management, you attack them, but not making actually the team feeling alone.
Yeah, that
And
was my point.
and if it's once, Fred or Kevin, if it's once, I can even agree. If it's something big and they want to share it, what better moment to do it? I can even understand it. But I've been in games. I have been in games where honestly, it's a shame. It's really a shame
Yeah.
to bring new people that never been there. Kevin, you have been a lot of time in the stadium, Frederick as well. When you bring a new person to the stadium, you are happy to share that passion, and
Yeah.
you want to show them, and you see a silent museum or theater. It's really, really not nice. You feel ashamed for your stadium, and then you see Galatasaray, then you see
Yeah.
Benfica, Sevilla. And
Standard Liège.
I'm not attacking only. Yeah, it's true. Standard Liège.
Yeah.
It's not only attacking the Curva Sud, because we are speaking about Curva, but what about the rest of the stadium? Because it's fine
Yeah.
to attack 25% of it, but what about the other 75%, which also I believe have some responsibilities? So no, it's a discussion that difficult. It's really difficult for me to defend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, and I like setting the tone for how the rest of the stadium experiences the game. It's a part of it. I had a friend come visit a couple years ago, and he the poor soul happened to visit, I think, when we lost at home to Monza 0-2, and
Mamma
the
mia.
and Curva was protesting, I think, that day, and it's just like that was his first exposure to it, and it was pathetic. And it's like, this isn't what it's normally like, but you have no other reference point for it. But
And
I think to Bepe's point, I've seen this over the last couple years, particularly, and it seems like it's poor decision making, and there's a lot of ego at play, and there's always something to complain about. And
yeah.
if there is truly nothing beautiful than like the singular love for Magica Juve, then put all that stuff aside and show up for the club when you're there. And take
Yeah.
even though Frederick, everything you said about the ticket prices makes perfect sense, and it is really unfortunate that 15 minutes of not being there at the start of this match. Why would you risk that? Like, just put the energy there, be there for the side, because it does matter. It does
Yeah, and
matter.
it makes no different. It makes no different to the ticket prices. It's not like Udinese's management saw this and said, "Oh no, the Curva's not singing for 15 minutes. Let's lower the prices." And I have to agree with both of you. And I feel that in general, we didn't see this when we had the two Curvas, when you had the North and the South in the beginning. To me, the atmosphere, the camaraderie was a bit better. We were also a bit more hostile in the sense towards visiting teams, which made us a bit more, I don't know, something to be reckoned with, an extra addition into those games. And I wholeheartedly agree with you guys. But and I'd say, if you don't want to watch the game out of protest, which I also can understand if you want to go that route, then just stay out of the stadium.
Yeah.
Leave the whole curva blank, and maybe then you'll get the message, because then television will pick it up. Because everywhere where the game will be broadcasted, you just send out a press release, and everybody will talk about it, because every commentator on every channel will say, look, there's this empty space behind the goal because the curva suit striking, because this and that, and then you get acknowledgement, then you get things going. This is
You cannot go with a non vi lasceremo mai. With a we will never leave you alone. Hey, we will never leave you alone. It's years that you are leaving the team alone, and that's not okay.
No,
Anyway,
no.
we won 4-0. Huh? We won 4-0. How important was the win before speaking about Mercato and the next upcoming game? Because I said that goal of Gatti was so vitally important. Frederick and Zach were a bit, yeah, okay, yeah, it was important, but we were a bit different in our opinions. When you saw that second half win, Fred, was it important, that goal of Gatti, or still you're not changing opinion or your mind?
No, no. I think the importance of the Gatti goal will be, we'll see how much that matters at the end. I think it was very important to win the Pisa game. I didn't have much faith in that we would, because this, to me, seemed like a typical Juventus game where we had a must-win game and we just were gonna blow it. And you could see the first shot on goal in the second half, or I was imagining the first shot of Pisa on goal for the second half to become their lead, which oof, oof.
Straight fire.
Yeah, because I forgot. So I have it off.
Thank you so much. But please follow the scoop. Also buy the t-shirts online at turingiants.com. But sorry for the message. But no, I felt that it was going poorly, but we won 4-0. But now let's see what Udinese, where we go from there. And like I said, it doesn't change anything to the fact that we need what is it, in the 14 points still at minimum. So we'll see. I mean, if you lose the next game, then Gatti's goal maybe is not as important, or maybe it will become much more important throughout the rest of the game. So it's difficult to tell. But I just like the fact that the team responded, because I was very upset with them. I was very upset with them during the first half, because you could see that there was a mentality problem, a motivational problem. And I find it very, very discomforting that if you know that every game up until the end is a final and you're playing at home, you don't have the mental capacity to get hyped yourself, even without the Curva singing and all this. I mean, you should be able to get some sort of intrinsic motivation out of it and start, with a bang, at least some pressure and some tempo. And that was the two things that we actually lacked the whole first half, and got us a bit into trouble, because when we upped the tempo, Pisa couldn't hold us back. So yeah.
Were you surprised of the loss of Roma against Genoa?
I think
No?
Kevin and I expected it.
Well,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
hoping
Well,
Kevin,
we're
for it. I
hoping
don't
for
know
it.
if I actually
Kevin, yes.
expected it. I was hopeful for it. I just think it was kind of a storybook thing for how Roma treated De Rossi, to have him have that matchup in the Marassi in Genova, and it just happy for him, just at a human level for Daniele. But they've demonstrated over the years that Genoa is capable of showing up against tougher opposition and pulling out a result at home. That's a tough stadium to play in. That's a tough
Marassi,
stadium. Yeah.
Romas,
I went
Romas.
to a match there a couple years ago against Sampdoria. It was the dreadful performance the last time they were in Serie A, but it's a spectacle there. It's a terrible place, but it is a spectacle just to see the energy and how those fans show up.
Genoa
Yeah, and
Sampdoria is one of the most underrated derby that there is in
Oh,
Europe.
certainly. Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's complete mayhem. It's complete mayhem. I witnessed it once. I was in Genoa, but couldn't get tickets to the game, and it was amazing. You had people frantically wandering the streets at 10 a.m. already with the jerseys on and whatnot, and you have to, because it's a shithole, the Marassi, let's be honest, it's a shithole. And they had something like, they set off two perimeters with kind of these metal bars, and you could actually see buses coming in left and right, but being separated through these metal bars. And it felt kind of Auschwitz-y, if you don't mind that reference. Yeah. It felt a bit awkward, but it's the atmosphere, I think, is incredible. The tension, you could feel it in the city. But going back to my first point, I think Roma's is a weak team. I don't see anything special
They
about
decided to give up on the Europa League, kind of.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't see anything. I see some good players in there individually, but I don't see this like. I mean, the way people were talking about Roma 2 months ago, it was as if they were going to win the Champions League and the Scudetto, even by not
But isn't it the
competing. I mean,
Gasperini effect, though? He's making an average group of players perform better than the individuals. I mean, that back line that they have, being one of the top defenses in all of the top 5 leagues across Europe, like individually, none of those defenders crack a top 20 list, but they've played defensively well. I mean, Kone is a good player, but other than that, it's they've just performed well as a unit with some level
but
of consistency.
the Gasperini treatment, and that's why I'm happy he didn't become our coach, needs a lot of time. And if you're in a top club, you don't get that amount of time. I got Atalanta, he was free, he was given time. He was also given, let's not forget, there were some huge checks that they wrote out. They had an awesome scouting system. They had a whole lot of, I don't know, influence with other clubs, and they kind of, leapfrogged everybody into signing certain players, which is nice, which is, all credits due to them. But then you see that he gets, a lot of spare time in order to make it work. And he usually starts from the back line by solidifying the back line, working his way through midfield and eventually forwards, and then the team as a whole. That's a process that takes 3 to 4 years. And I'm not sure if the people in the capital will allow him those 3 4 years to
But, but
get
I
to
think
that
you
level.
just raised a really important point about Roma. One of the biggest one of the biggest problems of Roma over their history has always been that pressure. The pressure of there is no middle way with Roma fans and in the city. For people that do not live in Italy or never experienced it, Roma is crazy, crazy about football. You have radios that are playing Roma 24/7 in terms of debates, shows, lives. It's constantly, and it's with quite a lot of grinta, animo, and if they win a game, it's like a party for 7 days where they are the best of the world, and if they lose a game, it's like the end of the world. So it's really, really huge. Like we will win everything and we are the best one, like a total depression. So having that pressure 24/7 is really difficult, and a lot of players, coaches, environment failed because of that. Now, today I was speaking with someone that told me next year Roma will win the Scudetto. And I said, why? For what reason? How do we know already next year? But he told me something, that I'm super superstitious. They told me that the year of Il Centenario, so the year of the 100 years of a club in Italy, usually they win the Scudetto. Juve won, Inter won, Milan won. Every time that they celebrate their 100 years, even Lazio, the year of their 100 years, they won the Scudetto. And next year is the year of the 100 years of Roma. So it's already written. Next year, I don't know what to do. It's over. Next year,
Interesting.
26,
We might
27.
we should stop playing then. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
we
yeah.
should write to the Serie Lega, say we take
Save
a
our
break for
money
next
for
season.
27,
Yeah,
28 season.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Raz, write it down on the 12th of March 2026. We already said here with Turin Giants, the winners of Serie A 26-27. Roma. Let's see.
E
I'm
basta.
really curious. It's over.
Dybala in a
No,
wheelchair. Dybala in a wheelchair.
I will be gone. He will be gone. He will not be there. It's a bit like it happened with Paris Saint-Germain. Mbappe is gone, and then they win the Champions League. Dybala will be gone, the king of Rome, and then. But they're looking to bringing in again Totti. Already spoke with Gasperini for a bit, like image man consigliere. They
Yeah.
did a bit the same with Atletico Madrid today. They announced an ex-player as a consigliere, advisor of the club. What's his name? I saw it today, but ex-player of Atletico Madrid. David Sil? No. Wait, I will tell you. And then maybe we have a question about that. Um, the player is, I forgot the name. David Villa. David Villa.
Ah, David Villa.
Wait, I don't have the image here. We'll put it here just a second. And the question is, who would be a perfect consigliere for Juve. Don't tell me Del Piero because he doesn't want to be just an advisor. So we need to
Nobody.
look for a good advisor for Juve that is not Alessandro Del Piero. This here. David Villa becomes a new Atletico Madrid board member, consigliere board member. Welcome home, one of our 2013-14 heroes.
Nobody. Why would we even want that? I,
It's
I don't see the I don't see the added value there. You have your sporting director, you have your scouting, you have your management. Why do you need to add another person with an opinion then? Because then you create all this. You have a sporting director wants player X. Your consigliere says, I want player Y. They both go to the CEO. The CEO doesn't know who to choose. He does heads or tails, and then
Never said
after it
Bonucci,
pops it.
no.
Bonucci, mamma mia.
I see.
But
Oh,
then
I started to read names in the chat. I don't know if people are trolling or not.
nobody, nobody,
The only
nobody.
Frederick, the only reason I push back slightly, and there's some nice names being shared here in the chat, but not Bonucci. He doesn't have much of a brain. Our board is comprised of individuals without footballing knowledge and background, right? There's a lot of just businessmen who know how to run organizations, and there's value in that, and getting structure and stability, and how to bring kind of integrity to our finances. But a true footballing mind, other than I mean Comoli, obviously, but it's somebody who understands the identity of this club. And I forget who referenced it recently, and I'm sure one of the two of you know that it was in one of the most recent either board meetings or just sessions with the leadership. And it was like the first time when it was spoken completely in English because of the lack of Italian, particularly with Comoli. And I just feel like part of the club's identity gets lost, and not that speaking English ruins that, but it's representative, right? Juve is the Fidanzata d'Italia, right? And it's when some of that gets lost, it becomes more of just this like hollow international business endeavor rather than an Italian football club.
I agree.
So these names like a Marchisio, a Mandzukic, Platini, right? These people who understand this, being a part of this club in some meaningful way, I think there could be some value in that.
I think then. Sorry, Beppe.
No, I will not go for a Mandzukic because I saw the name of Mandzukic, for example, in the chat. Mandzukic never spoke. I'm not sure if he will be really vocal now.
You would just call out all the bad ideas and just go, no good.
Yeah, but you know, it's quite difficult to judge for us from external to a good player or a player with grinta, a player that represented. Yeah. What will he do in management? I think there was a really correct answer. I think that was written in the chat before. We already have it, and it's Chiellini. Chiellini is already there. It's not yet part of the board, but football strategy. He's there. He's more and more and more in the spotlight. He starts to be vocal as well. Spalletti is his call, was able to convince Comoli. So Chiellini is already that David Villa in a way, and probably even more important, David Villa. So Chiellini is at the moment the right name. I see Frederic absolutely disgusted about the name of Chiellini. I don't know what I said, but your face was not really.
No. I was thinking on other things. I was thinking if we're starting with these ambassadors or consiglieres, maybe it's time to, I think, start from the presidency. Just the president. I'm not talking about CEO management. No, but I think, but I think the name that we had in the past was somebody who lived, breathed, and understood Juventus in a way that nobody can, because he's seen it all. Yeah. How can you? And if you're the president, then you can put that through to your management, to your players, to your coaches, to your staff, then you're halfway there. I don't think it makes sense to say, let's get Mandzukic, put him behind the ad boards and let him scream no good all day. I don't think that will help with a lot of people or a lot of people that are new at Juventus to understand what it means.
That's
But if
fair.
you have a I mean, not to you, Kev. I mean, in general, I don't think that, even if you put Del Piero there, who is a bigger name in terms of, I don't think that will matter as such. I think it's the identity, the feeling, the mentality that you need to instill. And if you have a president who has seen it all, been through it all, comes at the office every day, checks up on everything, talks
But
to
you need
you.
you need an active president.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, an active president who also, let's put it very bluntly, has some balls. Because Agnelli made mistakes, I agree. I don't want to get into
Oh
that
yeah.
debate, but the man had balls, and I think for me that's what it takes.
Yeah, but I was not even thinking about Andrea Agnelli because that chapter is, to me, at the moment, still an open wound for everyone. But I was thinking, if you give me another name, then it's Platini and nobody else. To me, there
Mhm.
is Platini,
Here,
Platini,
here.
Platini,
Yeah.
Platini.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Guys, we need to speak about Mercato as well. But I just discovered the player, guys. So I don't know if you want to write it down for later, if you want to observe and monitor. It's really, really good. Really, really good. So the chat as well. It's a name. I spotted him yesterday with my right eye here. Fantastic player. You will hear about him. Really, really great player. Federico Valverde.
Never heard of him.
He was so good yesterday. What a performance. What a performance. He's good. Huh? He's so
Yeah,
good. Some people said
yes.
me, it's the Western McKennie of Real Madrid. And in the beginning, I thought it's blasphemy. Then I started to think about it, and I understood what they were saying. In a way, it's a
Well,
player that
maybe
can,
if they're equals, we can trade.
you know,
Yeah,
but he plays as a right back, as a left back, offensive player, as a mezzala. He plays wherever, and he's always delivering. And we saw it
He
also with
played
West.
almost their entire last season, or was it the year before as a right back?
Yeah, because they had nobody. Every
yeah,
Yeah, they
time
had
everyone is
nobody.
injured
And he
there.
was so good. Yeah.
But what a
yeah.
performance!
Well,
Yes.
He is a great player, but he also in this Real Madrid side where it's ego upon ego and selfish player upon selfish player. He's one player that I look at and it's just like I'd love him on any team I'm putting together. He seems to really just put his head down, understand what the club represents, and just leaves it out all on the field and does what's asked of him. He's a pretty remarkable player.
and the level of technicality. I don't think that if we take random 5 professional Italian footballers with at the same age, and we can morph them into one player, they won't have the technical ability Valverde has. And
Man, the shot from the distance that yesterday didn't show, but the shot from the distance is a rocket on target. Wow, really, really, really great player. Fantastic, really, really great player. Yesterday when I went to no before going to bed, actually, I was checking social media. What do I see? That Nico Skira goes with the news. Juve is interested in El DIBU Martinez. They asked information. Your opinion about it, guys? Oh, by the way, I opened the poll in the chat. People can vote if they want or not Marcus Thuram, because we will speak about that after El DIBU Martinez.
I'll start. I'm torn on this one, and there's two sides to it. I think on one side, there's a part of his personality that I think is just unattractive. I don't really know the right way of saying it. He kind of comes across as a bit disrespectful. The ego is not placed in confidence, but one I think of a bit of arrogance. That image that is gone viral and was famous back in the Qatar World Cup. It's like that kind of behavior is nothing you would ever associate with a Buffon, for example, who represents like class and being a gentleman. And when you look at the people who have best represented our shirt, they don't act like that. None of them do. However, there's a part of me that says we need big personalities, and someone like him is not soft. He's a competitor, and he'd shake things up. And you look at it. This is probably a bad example, but I'm gonna give it anyway because I was watching a bit of it on my flight coming back yesterday with some Ted Lasso reruns when when Ted Lasso brings Jamie Tart back to the side. Right, he was the team was that season they had tied like 8 straight games and they needed a shakeup, right? Something to get in there and kind of mess things up to get it moving. And somebody like him that has a personality, that will be vocal, that brings a competitive dynamic, could benefit the team, but he's not my first choice.
He's a good keeper. I think he's a very good keeper. What in goal he does well. Outside of goal, on stages and behind camera and the mic, maybe not so much, but that's something you can work on. It's not like I like to sometimes see or hear Di Gregorio, but when I see him in between the posts, then it's an absolute disgrace. So if I have to switch and have an asshole between the posts, but a very good one, I'd rather much have because I think we lack assholes in this team in terms of ego, balls,
That's
and
my
leadership.
point. Yeah.
So, and the only thing that makes me question, because I double check with my source, and he responded with I don't know emoji, is the price for one. I don't know if the price is, and if the price is anywhere close to Allison's.
You have Douglas Luiz as a jolly.
Yeah, but then you're
We will not
forced
go
to.
back to Nottingham because I don't know if you saw his new girlfriend is actually the daughter of the sporting director of Newton. This guy is crazy.
My man struck gold. They'll never let him go now. They'll never
Yeah, I
let him go
didn't know,
now.
Kevin. So the new girlfriend of Douglas Luiz, that is 27, is 19, and
Yeah.
she's actually the daughter of the sporting director Edu Gaspar from Nottingham Forest. Probably that's why he was not playing a lot there. What a
That could be the
disaster.
case.
Douglas Luiz.
I also fail to see if you're
Seems like a good
27
life
years
decision,
old,
huh?
a professional football player making millions. Why on earth go for somebody just 19? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm old fashioned. I don't know. But I don't know if you use Douglas Luiz as a jolly, it still amounts to cash in a sense. You still lose that amount that they deduct off the fee or whatever. So
Yeah, because he renewed his contract like last year until 2029. So it, or Aston Villa really want to kick him out, and
well, he
then
was going to leave last season. They had
he
some
should have,
talks,
yeah, yeah.
and yeah, and they were both parties were pretty much content with parting ways. But then I don't know what happened. I think it was the coach switch or whatever, and it didn't happen. And I prefer Allison in all honesty, but I wouldn't cry if El Dibu came because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fabione45, thank you for the donation. My friend is writing for me. It's not about liking or not liking Martinez. We need someone like him, a goalkeeper with balls, undeniable, great, a leader, and opponents are afraid of. Doesn't mean it has to be him, but those characters. Look, my first reaction for people that watch the video, you already know, of course. For people that didn't, my first reaction yesterday when we were reading the tweet of Nikos Kera was like, because I always identified him as he's an Inter player. He's the most Inter player to never have worn the Inter shirt. For me, it's like you watch Star Wars. There is the dark side, there is of the Force, there is the light side of the Force. It's like that, and some players you feel that they are more zebra and people are more snake. They are more the dark. Like for me, it's the Inter is the dark side. It's like that, and just
Yep.
by not knowing them, of course, because sometimes it's just an idea and then you discover the person, it's totally different of the idea that you have. But just by watching, by seeing, they have an aura sometimes that you put in two categories. And to me, Emiliano Martinez is the perfect Inter player. And my first reaction yesterday, I wrote it on social media, was like, no, there is no universe where he is, because it's already like 4 or 5 years where I have that image, that label on him like that. And then I slept on it, and waking up this morning, I was like, actually, it's already weeks and weeks that I'm telling everyone on the videos that I'm looking for that type of goalkeeper, you know? So, it's really strange because I'm asking for that without having him in mind, but I was looking for experience, not too expensive, because we need to pay attention to the price, of course, but someone with experience, someone that already won, someone that can give trust to the defensive guard and telling them, I'm still here. If you slip, if you are dribbled past, I am still here. Of course, I can still concede. It's not Superman, but you know what I mean? If you are one on
Yep.
one against that goalkeeper, like for example, Colomwani in that final against Argentina, you think twice before going on the far post, chipping, or going on the first post. And just the fact that millisecond of doubt that is entering your striker when he's one on one, there are some goalkeepers that just have it in them, and goalkeepers that do not have them in. And that's why I'm saying, liking or not liking, at the end, if he's the chosen one, if he's the one that comes at you, I'm happy. That doesn't mean that you cannot criticize. Look, Felipe Melo, for example, had also that negative label. He went at Juve, it didn't work out, and we still hate him today for what he was. And what he is, even worse today than when he was at Juve. It didn't work. It didn't work.
Was the
But
same with Mandzukic though. Mandzukic
yeah,
was seen
Mandzukic was
as the big
absolutely.
villain, ego, whatever.
Yeah.
He's going to destroy the locker room. He doesn't know what Juventus mean, and he's a Juventus legend now because he understood even quicker than some of the fans what Juventus means. To be honest,
So
So are
then,
we
if
all
you
saying
tell
the
me
same
choose
thing?
between him and what is his name, Allison, I
I,
prefer Allison.
yeah, well, I think all three of yeah, I think all three of us, if it's Allison or Emmy, Allison, but we're all kind of saying the same thing, that he's not our preferred person, and what comes with his personality doesn't necessarily align with, I think, what we look for leaders. But given the state of this side, if we have to choose between Perin, Di Gregorio, and Martinez, we all know what our answer is.
Martinez,
Yeah.
please,
Of
yes.
course. I have a mini game for 2 minutes and not long. Chat, can you give us some players, random players, that never played at Juve, never played at Inter, and Kevin, myself, and Frederic, we will put them in the light side of in the dark or in the dark side. Just random players like that. It's absolutely not prepared. It's something that came in my mind. Otherwise, I would have done a PowerPoint with players. We do with Isco.
Light.
Juve.
I go with light as well. Kevin,
Yeah.
what did you say? Light.
Yeah, Juve,
Uh,
light. Sorry, light side.
uh,
Yes.
yeah, or you can go with Inter. Juve is also good. Huh? Uh, Musiala is for me light side.
Yes.
I don't know.
Benzema,
Hmm.
it's a difficult one, huh? But I think that I know.
Light.
Benzema is, yeah.
I think light side. It's the French connection as well.
He played with a Juve ball on Instagram. Please.
Suarez dark. Great call. Great call.
Suarez is really a dark side. I would put Cavani in light side.
I loved back in the day.
What a
I
player.
honestly, I wanted to see him at Juve so bad,
What
so
a
bad.
player.
I think he'd even be I mean, we remember him from the things he did and the level that he obtained, but I think he'd be so much better at Juve back in that period. Like he would, yeah, I don't
What
know.
is Neymar?
Inter. Dark.
Dark,
Dark
dark.
side. Yeah. Uh, yeah. No, I said never played at Juve. Otherwise, you cannot.
Yeah.
Van Dijk. To me, it's dark side.
Dark,
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Osimhen.
If it wasn't for what he said within the last couple weeks, I'd put him dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Casemiro, I would put in the dark side as well.
Yeah.
While
Agreed.
Kroos, I put in the light side.
Light.
Yeah. Sergio Ramos.
Dark.
Dark side. Yeah. That's a typical Inter player.
Yeah. It's true. Ribéry?
Light.
Light.
Yeah.
This is fun.
That's a good question, Yamal.
Dark.
Yeah.
Dark.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Vidic.
The people listening to this in audio format have no idea what's happening.
we need the Star Wars team now just to overly confuse
They
people.
can't
I
see the
feel.
names.
I
just have to
like
believe us.
the game. Kevin, do you like the game?
I love this game. Vidic, light.
Vidic. Light. Really?
I saw him dark side.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
But it's a matter of opinion and taste, of course.
We do three more. We do three more.
Okay, you choose Mbappe. You shout him out, and we'll debate on that.
John Terry.
Dark.
Dark. Yep.
Messi.
Dark.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the last one, I need a good name, guys. Huh?
Well, if we talk,
Oh, that's a good name. Donnarumma.
light.
Light. Yeah. Light.
Yeah, we should do that. From time to time. Let's answer the question, because then I know that Kevin has to leave. The vote of the chat said, do you want Marcus Thuram? Yes or no? We closed the vote after 200 votes. 39% of the people, 40% of the people said no. 60% of the people said yes, we want Marcus Thuram. Kevin already said no. Frederick said no. And to me, it's a big no as well. Kevin, you want to start?
Yeah, I think, I think we shared some of the same opinion. Like, we were chatting about this briefly before we kicked off the live. And I think if you had asked the question a year or two ago, I just say, based on the player and the player alone and what he brought to Inter, I'd be pretty supportive of him. And what I've seen over the last year and a half, and I know this season he's had some injuries, but he's just not showing up. And I think he lacks big game moments. I don't see the same determination that you see out of a young Pio Esposito. I think has just like kind of that mentality that he can develop into a really nice player. I just don't think he's dependable. And he's also one of those forwards that I don't know where they fit on the field and what system they're best in. And I see this, they're not the same player, but I asked the same thing about Openda. And you look at him in our side, like, where does he fit? He's not a winger. He's not a number 9. he's not really a good a segunda punta either as a second striker and what the Del Piero role was, because he doesn't create. He's just this like speedy guy that sometimes has some skill that if you throw him up front, maybe he'll come up with a goal. But like tactically, like where does he really fit? Thuram looks like he should be like an all-out number 9, but he really isn't. He doesn't have like the hold-up play of a Lukaku or a Kane or Lewandowski. He doesn't have that one-touch clinical finishing that we saw from a Trezeguet. He just kind of seems like a taller, less skilled Lautaro. It just, I don't know where that would fit for us, because if we're going to continue with some kind of a 3-4-2-1 or a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, where regardless of what that formation is, there's a number 9. There's a central striker there, flanked by 2 wingers and maybe an attacking midfielder or a number 10, and he's not that 9. He's not that 9, and so I don't know where he fits. I don't, and I think he'd cost a lot of money.
Yeah,
I think it's around 35-ish, something like that at least.
And then the agent needs a piece and this and that, and it's going to be 40, 45. And then you spend 45 million on a player that you have no use for, who's in constant decline, who is also getting injured quite more often than in the past. So all the negatives are there. All the negatives. I don't see the advantage of getting him in. You want a number 9? Fine. Spalletti wants a number 9. Fine by me. Whatever Spalletti wants, but get a number 9. This guy's not a number 9, nor is he a deep striker. So I don't know. Ne carne ne pesce. What are we gonna do with him? I mean, to spend that much money on a player that has no position that fits him like a glove on this team and is already in decline, both in performances and in mentality, I feel. I don't know. I don't think that sounds like a bargain. And you're giving money to Inter. I mean,
and you give
for me,
money
that's a big no.
Look, I see a Juve ball is writing Marcus Thuram is like a player that plays for money. He doesn't care about the game. I partially agree, but not really, because he doesn't need the money. So it's not a player that is playing for the money. But I agree with he doesn't care about the game. That's the feeling he gives me. Like they are losing in the Derby d'Italia against Juve. He's laughing on the field. They lost the Derby della Madonnina against Milan. The day after, he's putting pictures of him super happy with a brother in Clairefontaine in the French national team center. There are moments that are important for your supporters. What you show and especially Marcus Thuram gives me really that impression that you win, you win. You don't win, you don't win. He's a qualitative player. We cannot say that he's a bad player. We saw the skills, we saw him doing. Then it's difficult to give him a real spot in our Juve, like Kev and Frederic were explaining. But to me, what is the even more on top of that, what is really annoying, it's that nonchalant. Is it also an English word, nonchalant?
Yeah, not nonchalant, like is how we would say it in English, but it's directly from the French term. Yeah,
he has that nonchalance, I don't care attitude, and I will even go further, that if Kefren Thuram wants to step up, he will need to work on that one as well, because sometimes it's also the vibe that is giving me on the field, less than his brother, but to me that's really where he needs to go. And we were speaking a few seconds ago about we don't have these annoying not grinta, but these this player with that attitude. We don't have these assholes, these bastards in our team. But that's something where he needs to grow on, Kefren, and that's why I would not put him with his brother. Imagine we are losing 2-0 against Monza again, and then they are making a party there on the field, because I don't know, no, that would be no.
Vlahovic has more goals per game in the Juve shirt than Thuram has for Inter.
I didn't hear Vlahovic.
Vlahovic has more goals per game in the Juve shirt than Marcus Thuram has for Inter.
But there is one difference as well. He was playing in duo with Lautaro Martinez. He's also taking the penalties, or Canaloglu or Lautaro, while Thuram is not taking them. So the other one is more a 9 than Marcus. But yeah, I agree. You cannot play with only him, and then you need to change your entire system to make him play with
Yeah,
someone.
it's so easy. Just get me Lewandowski for one
Eh,
season. Get me
I mean,
Lewandowski.
when you need to leave, just tell us, and then we say goodbye. Yeah?
Okay.
But you can stay how long you want. We are anyway about to close. But Lewandowski,
But
tell me about Lewandowski, Fred.
yeah, Lewandowski. It's Lewandowski. I don't know. Yeah. Let me start at the beginning when we were
Wait.
in yeah,
Quick question: Federico
yeah,
Gatti, light or dark side?
dark side.
Yeah, he's really dark side.
I'm sorry, that's my opinion, and it's not because light or dark because you hate a player or you love a player. I think
No,
it's
no,
just
no.
which jersey do you see him
Yeah.
that fits the most. And
Yeah.
when I see Gatti, I automatically Atletico Madrid, that type of team.
Yeah.
That's a
Atletico
Federico
Madrid is a
Gatti
dark
team.
side
Yeah,
stuff. It's true.
that's a Federico Gatti team.
Yeah.
But no, Lewa. We started contacting his management when we were on bad terms with Vlahovic about the renewal. Then, of course, everything happened with Vlahovic that we know now that we follow on media. But we still kept that interest. We still kept that spark. And chances are that Barcelona, because Barcelona has the unilateral in the sense that they can decide if they want to prolong or not. There's this gentleman's agreement between Lewa and Barca, and I think last week they decided they won't extend him. So he needs to go transfer free. For me, I think if you're in contact with a player with the things that Lewandowski has done, and I'll admit to the fact that he's not the youngest of the bunch, but for what he can do, for what he can prove in this team with his capabilities, even for just a year, and you say, okay, we don't need to rush, we don't need to buy some unknown striker for 50 million. We can wait. We still have some time to figure it out. We have an extra year. We have a year of Lewandowski who can execute that number 9 role perfectly. For me, that's the best of both worlds because then you have more time to look for a replacement for whatever. And the fact of the matter remains that you still need 3 strikers because I'll repeat it until August 31st. Openda and David are on their way out. In any
Yeah.
way, shape, or form, Juventus can get them out, even with a loss, And that's untypical for Juve. But if they need to lose 10, 15 million on the Openda deal, so be it. But
Good.
they will not be here next year.
So let's
Wait,
assume
Kevin,
we
because I have
finish-
a question. I have a
Yeah,
question
please.
first. Filippo Inzaghi, dark side or light side?
Has to be dark side. Has to be. I
It's
go with
hard
dark.
because I see him in our shirt, so I'm like, part of me.
I see him in the Milan shirt as well. Milan is not dark side for me, but it's on the. If dark side is here, light side is here, then Milan is right on the border in the little toll booth. There's Milan, and there's for me. There's people in Zaghi.
I'm gonna hold with light side. I liked people.
And I go with offside.
The show, the show, the show, the show.
Oh, I prepared that one since 5 minutes. I couldn't anymore.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
This guy, oh, this guy. We're dating just for you because you thought of a funny joke, which is funny but not that funny. You wait for 5 minutes holding your laugh.
Oh
That
my
was really
man!
It
good.
was a
Oh,
good one. It was a good one. It was a good
I'm
one.
dead. I'm dead.
It was a good one.
It was so good. I'm so sorry, Kevin. No, because if
No,
I
it's
couldn't do
okay.
it
I
longer.
think on that note, unfortunately, I do need to step away and take care of
You
some
scared Kevin.
family
Good
duties
job,
here.
Beppe. You scared Kevin.
No, I'm so glad I got to witness that. He's
But tell us
crying.
your prediction first for Udinese Juve.
Juve 3, Udinese 1. 1-3.
Who wins?
Juve, sorry.
Okay,
This
okay.
is away match, right? So 1-3.
1-3.
1-3.
Okay.
1-3.
At least we
You
locked
want
in.
mine as well to get it out of the way, or
Wait
do
a
I wait?
second. We will do with the screen. Did Zach give us our his prediction or not yet?
I don't think so.
We will ask.
But
him.
he's
Kevin,
drunk
thank
by
you
now.
so much. Say hello to the family, and we see each other all next
Absolutely.
week.
It's an absolute pleasure. And for everybody joining and listening, it's
Okay.
always a joy. And thank you for supporting us. Fino alla fine.
Ciao, Kev. Oh, the joke was fantastic.
Amazing. Was one for the books. If there were Oscars for podcast jokes, you'd get 3.
This one was really good. It was difficult because I had it already in mind since 5 minutes, and I couldn't anymore because you were speaking about serious things, and they said I need to say it, otherwise because I was starting to smile alone, so I needed to say it.
Yeah, it was a good time. Oh, Zach is in chat. Zach says 1-2 easy peasy.
He should have said 1-2 Udinese. After pizza cake, it should have been Udinese. No, that would be a good one. So
That was
1-2
the
for
one last week.
It's a
Pizza
good
cake.
one, huh?
Yeah,
Pizza
yeah.
cake.
You
Wait.
keep.
So I will
I'm,
open the Excel file. Let me open it here. Where is it? Turin Giants, Gjustjuve predictions. We open and I will share the screen.
I'm always so close, Beppe. You know how frustrating that is?
One day I was really, really, really close to Penelope Cruz, but that didn't happen.
Not close
Being
enough.
not close enough. Here we go with
La Madonna.
after the 4-0. So here all in yellow because you were close, but close. 3-0 for Kevin, 3-0 for Jack, 3-1 for Fred, and 4-0 for Gjustjuve. 4 points. 4 points for you and Fred. 10 co-leader at the moment with Zach. Co-leader with Zach. What a remontada.
Zach is co-leader.
Zach is co-leader.
No. Wait. You both
What?
have 2. We need to count the yellows to see who's. But it's all the same because you have the same points, or isn't it?
Like 2 correct, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and here it's the same, except that I was really out of everything. That remontada is epic. We have 10 games. We have 10 more games to go.
So technically, I can still win.
Technically, you can, yeah.
I'm gonna pull a remontada now. I'm done. Playtime is over.
We go here with the new games.
Playtime is over.
Clear content. Clear the colors. I will make the.
Can I add one comment, if you don't mind, while you're doing your Excel thing?
Yeah, do.
Every time, and literally every week, the Beppe Show song stays in my head until Sunday, Monday. Then I happily forget about it, and then every Thursday the same thing happens, and it's back in my head until Sunday, Monday at the latest.
And I'm not even playing it a lot. I just play it like once, sometimes twice in the show, not more than that. But it's powerful. It's really powerful. Frederick, you want to go with your prediction?
Yes, I want to.
Wait, I will already write down mine so that nobody can say that I copy, because I will have a different one.
Yeah, but you can say your first. I never went after you, I think.
Oh, yeah, I can. But you will not be happy. The chat will not be happy. at today, it can change tomorrow, but of course it will not be valid anymore because this one will be locked in. But at today, my real feeling is 2-2. That's
I'm
the
gonna
prediction.
I'm gonna go with 1-3. Vlahovic scores.
Um, how many goals? This is a contest for you and me, Fred. Okay, we write
Yes,
it here.
yes.
Vlahovic. That's for you and me here. Fred.
Mm-hmm.
How many goals from now until the end of the season?
10 games, right?
10 games.
Including Udinese? It's 10 with Udinese, or is it
With
11?
with Udinese.
So he's gonna score at Udinese, I just know.
I already wrote mine.
I'd say a good 5. Then he has scored enough to do nothing from September to December.
I had
I
5.
say 5. Yeah. How are we going to compete now?
We are equal. We are equal. But,
We both win.
I had, that I had like 6 a few days ago. I had 6, but I was thinking he would have been back at least on the bench against Pisa, and now I went to 5. I think he will do really well in the next 10 games.
I think
The
so
problem
too.
is, like you said, it's not now. It's
Afterwards.
then.
Then we renew, and then he goes into I fight with myself mode every day and does nothing. It's already written. It's already written. I don't even ask my source for Vlahovic updates because I expect the worst already. Then it can only get better. If you expect the worst now, it can only get better.
I'm
Um,
I am 100% convinced that he will stay. To me, it's I know already that he stays.
yeah, yeah, same,
Fred,
same. I kind of yeah.
these names here. Wait, uh, of course, the list of Spalletti will change every single day. We know that.
eh,
But Colomoni, Ederson, Celik, Senesi, Pellegrini, and Goretzka. Do we have some updates for Senesi? More and more and more, they are saying that he could accept bigger offers and pushing away a bit more Juve, even if nothing is certain. You want to go towards one player or 2 players or
I'll go around the whole bunch if you want, if you like.
up to you?
Colomani, no contact between management. Colomani is still in touch via WhatsApp with a lot of ex teammates within Juve. For me personally, he's not worth it. So I hope it doesn't go through. We'll see. But Gasperini, yeah, Spalletti likes him. Apart from that, I have no updates. Ederson, haven't heard anything about him. I don't know where they get the name, but for me, nothing has been, pushed forward or whatever. Celik is a valid option. We spoke with his management numerous times. Celik himself prefers to stay in Italy, and of course, if you want to stay in Italy and you can sign for Juventus, then I think it's a job well done, to be honest. So I think Celik is a very valid opportunity, one that we probably will push for. Senesi, like you said, got some offers in. I'm hearing Barcelona, also Tottenham, but of course, the way Tottenham is going, I'm not sure if Senesi wants to play in the championship, so we'll see. We're still in contact with him. Pellegrini is somebody Spalletti likes, but management not so much. So nothing concrete there. And Goretzka was offered by his agents to Juventus, and they looked into it. They had some conversations, but the names I'm hearing most is Lewa and Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva, Beckham is pushing for him really bad to sign it into Miami. But Silva's not convinced. think he wants to stay in Europe. Also, Galatasaray knocked on his door. I don't think that's the league he prefers at this point. So I think we hold the best cards in terms of attractiveness, if that's a word, and you could say that. So I'm really hoping for that. And then, of course, like I said, with Lewandowski, for me, if you give me Lewandowski a year, you postpone the costs that you need to make to get another striker in, or have a striker in that you're not sure of, and pay him a lot of money. Please get me Lewandowski, especially in Serie A. I mean, are we kidding here? I mean, yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Look, when we are looking at these names, Colomoni, Ederson, Celik, Senesi, Pellegrini, Goretzka, you can see a few things on, and you add Martinez, Alisson, Lewandowski, Bernardo Silva, players that we are talking about since weeks or days now. They all reached maturity in terms of age, have some experience, some played at high level. Colomoni played the final of the World Cup. Don't forget about that. Goretzka played at Bayern and still playing at Bayern. Martinez won the World Cup. Lewandowski won everything that he could win with clubs. You know, we are speaking about huge experience, huge leadership, characters, balls, and you know, this is what this team needs. And when I see these names, maybe none of them will join at the end, but at least on the 12th of March, what I want to see, it's not today. I don't want that someone tells me he will arrive. I want that when I see the puzzle starting to form, that we are looking for the right pieces. Then you will need to put it in. You know, you need to make it fit. You need to give it a good direction. But at least that you go towards, okay, I want to take the good pieces and we identify the problem that we have today. And when I see these names, I don't like Pellegrini at all. By the way, to answer the question, is he light or dark? To me, it's light. But light, he has nothing dark in him, and that's probably his problem. Pellegrini, to me, it's light, but you know, light that is not working anymore. You know, like you know, so. But
he's light. He doesn't weigh on the defense. And that
but I see what Spalletti would do. By the way, what Spalletti needs to stop to speak about Mercato a bit too much, because the names that I hear, he loves Pellegrini. He would love he couldn't sleep because he was dreaming about Nico Gonzalez. At a certain moment, I'm not sure if giving everything to Spalletti is the right thing to do. Huh?
No.
I really sincerely hope that Dusan Vlahovic works, huh? Because it's not the first coach that says Vlahovic will make wonders. Huh? Tudor believed a lot in him. Thiago Motta believed in him. And we all know what happened. Huh? So
there's one big difference. One big difference. We didn't play offensively as we do now. And I think playing more offensively, because I don't wish to defend Dusan in any way, shape, or form, because you know what I feel about him. But I do think if you're a striker and you're not the best striker in the world, but you know when you're going on target with the ball at your feet and you know this is the only chance I'll get this game, and you're mentally not the stablest of the bunch, then it's already gone. But if you play offensively and you see what we create, what is it, 5-6 open chances a game at minimum, and you as a striker know that, and you miss the first, you still are confident enough that, you know, the second chance or the third one will arrive. That makes it a bit easier for you to deal with. So I'm not sure if that comes into play, because Dusan is Dusan at the end of the day. But as you said, it's a lot of question marks, and I think we need to also stop with the Mercato in terms of media. Mercato, because we see, but today Spalletti loves this one, tomorrow Spalletti loves the other one, then we go for that one, then Trezeguet says a name, all of a sudden that name comes in the media because we want to sign him, blah, blah, blah. I'd say follow the guidelines of Spalletti, but not the names. Spalletti tells you, I want a number 9 who's physical, who's strong, who can play, hold up play, but also can finish. Look for those characteristics, But if he says, I want Kolomwani, do not buy Kolomwani. Just find a striker with similar characteristics, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree. Fabiano is asking something new about the left back position. I was a bit surprised to not see left back positions anymore. From what I heard, but I'm not sure if it's true or not. But Spalletti really believes in recuperating Cambiaso, but I have no idea, honestly.
Maybe we already have an agreement with a left back player. Could also be.
And who is it?
I'm not sure. I'm just saying that could be, because even if you have Cambiaso and you believe in Cambiaso, that's fine, but you still need that backup player. And we all know, and even Spalletti knows, Cabal is not that guy. Cabal is not that guy for the left back. So you still need one player. And then I hear people saying, yeah, but Celik can also play on the left side. He does well on the right, but also no. Celik, if Celik comes in, he's the double for Kalulu. Simple as that. That's the target. That was the focus. That was the thing that we were aiming for. So he has no chance of playing on the left. Then you tell me, now Martinez, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of left backs that will leave contract free for their clubs in the summer. So maybe I hear Udohi, but I don't believe in Udohi.
Has been injured a lot. Didn't met the expectation of the hype that he had, because when he was about to come possibly to Juve back then, I even made a song about him, but then no, it was not written in his destiny.
Hit the button. Hit the Beppe Show button. That was a good one. That was
The show, the show, the show.
that
What a
was a
good one.
Beppe Show moment. That was a Beppe Show moment.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
I
agree.
agree. But I think, in all honesty, to summarize Mercato, I think we just need to look at the characteristics. Everybody together, not just Spalletti, but also maybe Comoli, maybe Modesto, Chiellini, whoever, and just say, okay, what positions do we need filled? And more importantly, who do we see going out?
Yeah,
Because I love all
Always.
these names, but we
But
need to
especially
sell some players as well.
if you are renewing 75% of the team, it will be
Yeah,
difficult, you know.
yeah,
But Holm will leave. I say it's unfortunate that he couldn't show himself, because Paletti really believed in him, and also with the first
yeah.
training session, he was really saying, "Hey, it's not bad at all." But it was already a mountain to climb for him, because it was 18 million euro, so
hmm
a lot. It was already nearly a lost battle, except of really a miracle end of season where he was doing exceptionally well. So it was already extremely difficult. But on top of that, with that injury, it's really a pity. It's, to me, it's really a pity that players, they don't have. Oh, you know what? Because I love challenges, I will go with my first feeling of a few days ago. On the 5th of March, I said 6 goals for Dusan Vlahovic. So I will go with 6. But now I will make it even more difficult. Yes or no? Will Milik score at least 1 goal before the
Yes,
end of the season? But
yes.
if we have the same answers,
It's, ask me something, I respond. I don't know what you're going to answer, but for me, it's yes, of course.
I would
Miller
love
comes in, of course.
Milik, the Champions League qualifier.
Oof, last minute. And then he
93rd minute
celebrates
against
and
Torino.
injures himself. I love
Oh,
No, but he'll score. He'll score. I'd go even further. I think that if Vlahovic gets minutes against Udinese and proves that he's match fit, I think the game after he'll be a starter, and Milik
yeah.
will be his backup player if he stays fit. So
Spalletti
and
believes more in Milik than in Openda and David. Huh?
yeah, but if I put this is an empty what do you call it? Coffee
Cup,
mug. A
mug,
coffee
cup.
cup mug. If I put that, on the field, I have more trust in that than I have in Openda and David. Because let's be honest here, what we saw was disgraceful. Apart from
My
what they
big
can do
regret
or
is
not
that
do.
Zach didn't make it. I was ready. I had
I
all
think
my
that's why
eggs.
Zach. I think that's why Zach didn't make it. He planned a vacation. He saw the game. He said, "Honey, next week we go out with the family. I don't want to."
He
No,
was
but
scared.
it was an abomination of no, no, no. Worse than Amauri and what was the Anelka combined?
Yeah, yeah. No, Jonathan David, really, really bad. But no, I, I don't want to speak about it. I really
But
don't
we'll
want to
get
speak.
money. We'll get money for him. We have some interesting offers that came in. I heard not for
Yeah,
Jonathan David, but also for as we spoke
open up.
about last week. Openda, not
Yeah,
interesting in the sense that we can
to
make
me, he
money
will
off
go
of
on
it. But
loan. He will go
yeah,
on loan with an
yeah,
option to buy.
yeah. But for Kelly and Thuram, we have the first not offer in terms of figures, but we have two clubs that officially asked us if they can speak to the management of Kelly.
But Kelly, I would not. Look, if Senesi comes, I would not be surprised that you cash in with Kelly. If Senesi doesn't come, then I think that they will want to keep
You
him.
need Senezi first, but then the question, the real question is if they offer 50 million for Kelly, which is to me impossible, but you never know these days in Mercato. What do you do then, knowing that Senezi won't come? You need to have that backup, and to be honest,
They
I
have the
wouldn't.
backup idea. The backup idea is there. The backup
Yeah,
idea is Muharemovic, but
yeah,
it's the backup idea.
yeah. And will it be qualitatively enough in
Oh,
terms of I don't know.
but
I,
like
I
I
I
told
wouldn't let
you,
Kelly go for 25 million, to be honest. If you come with a crazy offer worth 50, then it's another thing. But for 25, I wouldn't take the risk. 35, we can talk, we can sit down and see what happens. But for 25, I just say go out with a straight no, to be honest.
50 million for Bremer and you take Gila. Would you do it or not?
For 50 million, I don't care who we take. If you see Bremer playing lately, I'm sorry, he's not the Bremer. We said that a lot of times that he's not the Bremer of old, but it's becoming apparent now when he's getting a bit tired. Then you really see how he didn't fully recuperate from the injury. Over exaggeration about Jonathan David, I read in the chat.
Yeah, I tell you. No, but I need also to know from where people are writing. That's really important. With
Probably
Vlahovic it was
Canada.
easier. With Vlahovic it was easier because a lot of people at a certain moment when I was speaking not well about Dusan, the names were ending in ich. So I knew like okay, I know why they are defending. For Jonathan David, I need to understand because a lot of time we have people from Canada, they don't care. They go with we defend Jonathan David.
But
Uh
Canada is well known for their football knowledge, of course. So we need to,
oh, no, die. They are at the World Cup. Italy is not. It or
for
maybe
now. I
they
hope they're not. Forza Ireland, because
let's
I'm
see.
anti. I'm anti, as you know.
But
Anti.
they will. They will. I think that Benedetto is coming from Canada. Benedetto, where are you from? Tell us. Wait. I'm curious from where he's coming. Benedetto, where are you from? I just want to know, by out of curiosity. Tell me, Benedetto. Toronto.
Toronto.
I knew. Uh, oh, Benedetto. No, but you know what I'm saying because I know how people are speaking about certain players. I know the chat too well. Benedetto is laughing. I have that sixth sense. I know when people are saying why they
We,
are
we
saying.
we we love you, Benedetto, and it makes sense if you're from Canada and you have a Canadian player. Like I'm from
No,
Belgium, you are too, Beppe. If Openda was doing we defend him, but he's not doing he's doing. We can't even, not even God can defend him. Let's be honest. But even with David, it's a stretch. Canada, I know, nice people, whatever you want, but Jonathan David for now. I mean, I like him. I like the guy. I really, I see him. On picture, I want to hug him, but he's not the striker for Juve. He's not the
No,
striker for Juve.
but I said it since match day one. Look, I would have on a free transfer. If you tell me we have our number 9, and we are taking him as a rotational player to enter to do to I would have said it's a really good deal.
Yeah,
But that's the problem. There we missed. There we really messed up in taking him, making fans and also Jonathan David believe that he is the striker of Juve. Uh, that's a problem in communication. If, it is what it is. But then, or you do it, or you can't do it. So sometimes you can't.
and it's also a bit of luck as well at the end of the day, because you
Yeah.
can analyze and you can scout as much as you want. Sometimes it's a mental issue. Sometimes it's the players that don't get the same vibe in the new environment. Sometimes it's a player that is in a bad sense of relationship with his girlfriend at that time. These are all things that come into effect, and timing and a bit of luck is everything in that respect.
To me, Colomani, if I need to give a percentage feeling of how much I think that he will join Juve at today, my feeling is 21.37%. Not more than that.
Grazie. Let's hope so. I really
I
hope
don't
so. I don't want to see him back at Juventus. I don't. I think he's not the decisive player we think he is. He was driving on that. I scored on my first appearance at Juve, was riding that wave up until the end, and we think that he now is the player that scores every game. He's not. You could see that at Tottenham. He's not the player we need. I don't want to
like
spend all these millions on him.
I would not go for Kenan Davis. I would not. That's again
No.
that half a season wonder. They sell
Yeah.
you, and then he becomes the new Beto from Everton. No, no, no. To me, no,
No,
no.
no. That's why I said go with Lewa. Of all options, especially cost wise, he's the one that makes more sense. He'll score all over Serie A. He's the one that guarantees you goals. Literally. Lewandowski is a guarantee for goals wherever he is. There's no transfer fee. You could still get a year, maybe even 2 out of him, and you have time to plan ahead and see, okay, what are we gonna do? Because let's be honest, buying 3 strikers now in the summer,
No.
impossible. Impossible. And nailing all 3, having 3 valid strikers, even more impossible. And then we haven't talked about left back, goalie, defensive line, midfield. No. Get
What
Lewandowski,
happened?
get him now.
What happened
What
at
happened?
9:30? I don't know. What happened at
Well,
9:37?
today.
No, I don't know.
Well,
I have no idea. What happened? Now I'm curious.
yeah, me too.
Boo.
Well, uh,
I will try.
if I'm not
Jean-Paul
sleeping.
Bleu. I will write it down here so that I will do as soon as I close the live. But I have no idea. Fred, is there something you want to add, or we say goodbye to the entire fantastic chat? Did you give me your prediction? Yeah, you gave it. 1-3
I
for
did. I did. I just want to say that already pay attention to Mercato and to Spalletti, because I have a feeling, I know for a fact Spalletti has an agreement with Juventus.
1 or
Done.
2 years.
Until 2028, they tell me, with an option for an extra season.
Oh.
So 2 + 1, I think it is.
I know that it will be his last contract, last football team. Then it's over.
And I think with the pressure that he will have in those 3 years, it'll be good to be the last, because then You really, the blood pressure is all over the place.
And when will it be announced? Tomorrow.
No, probably just before the national team break.
Ah, yeah.
They
Good.
tell me
Good.
it would have been announced this week. The planning was to do it this week, but the first meeting was canceled for some reason. I don't know why. And then they met at Milan, they tell me, and there everything was decided and done and dusted. And now they're waiting for the right time and still some marketing things or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know because this is not my usual source. It's one of my sources, not the usual one, but I think he has a flawless track record with me. So
That's good. Arda Güler is over. Huh?
yeah.
I know it.
Oh,
Yeah, we tried. Yeah.
we tried. We dreamt. We tried. There are a lot of opportunities that will present themselves, and I'm pretty sure there will be one or two at least surprise names. At least one or two.
Today there was the it was quite funny because I was listening to Matteo Moretto and he said they told me that if Juventus qualifies to Champions League, they want to do a really important mercato.
Grazie al cazzo.
Grazie.
Grazie al
I said,
cazzo.
thank you, Matteo.
Wow. And he gets paid for saying that.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
also told me that if tomorrow it will rain, my car will get wet.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Could no. Could get
Good.
wet.
Never
Yeah.
know. You never know.
Yeah, you need to pay attention
But
because that's what he says. Huh?
no,
Because
but it's
look at the words. Huh? They told me that if Juventus qualify to Champions League, they want to do a really important. So
they
they
want.
want, you know.
I also want the Ferrari, but I don't get. But that's, I mean, but also Zach texted me, said, "Yo, I have some time off. I'm looking through X Twitter. What is all this? I see this name." I said, Zach, just enjoy your beers, man. This is all like I don't know what it is, but like everybody's a mercato specialist. You see names popping up left and right. They already know how long the player will sign, what their preference is, how much they demand in wages. It's the list of Spalletti. But can you imagine Spalletti going outside saying, "Hello, I have a list. I have 6 names. I want this." No,
No,
of course
no,
he has.
yesterday I made a video about the list of Spalletti because I made the first video about Italian state of football
Yeah, I
and there
saw
were
that
some
one.
people
Or
that
partially.
there were some people that said, but Beppe, I'm angry because I don't care about the papers, BS, and this and this. I said, let's speak about Mercato. Then in the second video, I said, let's speak about Mercato. But it's unfortunate that on the yesterday, 11th of March, we speak about Mercato because that means one thing that we are
There's
out
not
of
much to
everything.
speak of. Yeah, there's not much to
Because
speak of.
that's the thing. Because when you're
Yeah.
out of every, that's why we speak about Mercato, and that's why you will see all these names. That doesn't mean that all these names are lies, huh? Because of course Mercato
No,
starts now. You need to go. There are some interest, but that's what I said. You know, the list of Spalletti is an over exaggeration of. There are ideas, of course, but we don't know if at the end some players will come or not. I told you, for me, what you if you really want to analyze Mercato and watch, you need to take the names, put them there, and look at the similarities. If you see that we have,
mm,
like for example, 7 names as a right winger and 2 as a midfielder, you know that the priority could possibly be on the right winger. If you see a lot of goalkeepers named, probably you go towards, okay, Juve will go for a goalkeeper. But what kind of goalkeeper do you have? If you hear a lot of, like these experienced big names in terms of what they had in career, you know that Juve is looking for that kind of profile. It's not really the name, like what I
no,
showed you a bit earlier with a picture of all the players. You see a common thread: 27, 31. So you don't hear anymore these
no.
19 years old players. So
And it's
that
a lot of
no
media are
go.
saying, yeah, but Spalletti needs at least 6. That's also total bullshit. There is no number defined. There is no Spalletti knows what he wants. He communicated that to Comoli already in January, after the winter mercato. He said for the summer I'll need this, and this type of player in order to fill. And Comoli agreed in the sense that Comoli and Spalletti agreed in the fact that they need an experienced player in every rank. So you need an experienced defender or somebody with a lot of potential. Doesn't mean he has to be old in that sense, but who can somebody in midfield and somebody up front. And it's as simple as that. Can we get all three of them and add them with a number of free agents and maybe one or two promising young talents? Nice. If not, also nice. There is no set amount. There is no name that if I don't get that name, I walk. It's all nonsense.
Dai, Frederic. Thank you to Kevin that was there with us. Thank you to Zach that came into the chat, but especially thanks to Del Piero 109. Thanks to Maestro. Grazie mille to Alessio that was also there in the stadium for Juve Pisa. Thank you Ferraz that was extremely active today. Arthur Flying Tracker. Fabione 45 with a beautiful donation. Thank you to Assam for extending the membership. Thanks to
Everybody.
Thanks to the 42,409
Bella Madonna.
Juventini of the world. Grazie mille,
Nice.
ragazzi.
Congrats, Beppe. Very nice.
Thank you to everyone. We see each other
Thank you so
tomorrow morning. And don't forget, Turin Giants, you click on it, redirect it, and you subscribe. Ciao a tutti.